Hello everyone, so in this video I'm going to show you how you can create a custom image and create a container from that custom image. So before moving further, let's check the IP of the machine. So the current physical interface IP is 192.168.1.69. Okay, first I'm going to create one directory called docker. So you can create any directory, but for my convention I'm going to just create uh, a directory called docker, and inside I'm going to go inside this docker. Okay, now what I'm going to do is create another directory called html, and I will go inside html, and where I'm going to create one file called index.html, where I will put the content for the web server. So hit enter. This survey. Okay, I can put any entry, so just close this tag and save this file. Okay, so what I have done is I have created one directory called docker, and inside that I have created another directory called html, and inside that html directory I have created one index.file. Okay, now I'm going to create one more file called docker file. So where yeah, so first let's search the image. So base image, so docker search httpd. Okay, so if you see here, I'm going to, since this machine is CentOS machine, so I'm going to uh, use this image as a base image. So create a file called docker file. Make sure D is capital and the file name is same as this docker file. So first I need to specify from where I am going to pull the base image. So I will put this from and the base image name, maintainer. So who will be the maintainer of this container file? So if you, that is optional, you can either put that entry or I mean skip that, but I'm going to put that maintainer. And the I can put my mail address here or any other information. And I'm going to copy. So for the web server to run, I need to copy the index.html. So where is the index.html? So this is in the current directory. I have one folder or directory called html, and inside that there is index.html file, and I need to copy that to var html directory. Okay, so this httpd by default works on 8 port 80. So you can either specify this or you can just leave this, but I'm going to specify this for now. Okay, so let me save and exit from this file. So inside docker we have one docker file, and another is html directory. So currently docker images. So if you see here, I don't have any images. So from this docker file I am going to build a custom image. So what is the syntax for that? So the syntax is docker build -t and the uh, custom image name, so I'm going to put the name as custom httpd and dot where this docker file resides. So in this docker is file is present in the current directory, so I have mm, and put here a dot file. But suppose if that is on another location, you instead of dot you can specify the path here. So hit enter. Okay, so oh my bad, so the spelling is wrong. So docker file, the spelling is actual mistake, so it should be dockerfile, d should be capital. So, okay, now build the image, so hit enter. Okay, now list the images, so docker images command. Okay, so now I have one image called custom image called docker custom httpd, and it is just created 6 seconds ago. Okay, from this image I'm going to create one container. So for that the syntax is docker run dash d. D is for docker daemon dash dash name. So what is the name of the container that I want? So I want, yeah, httpd container dash p for the port. So uh, with what port I want to expose this web server, so I will put this 2222, any port that is not used on this system. So I am just taking one random port, non-standard port, so to, and the httpd server works on this 80 port by default. Now I need to specify the custom image name. So sorry, so what is the syntax? Docker run dash d daemon dash dash name, and the name of the container dash p flag, and with the port exposed from outside and the default port on which this works, and the custom image name. So hit enter. Check if container is running. Yeah, so we have a container name this one, created using image this one, created 6 seconds ago. Now let's check if we are getting the content of the web server, no, or not. So the IP is one, what is the physical IP? 192.168.1.69. so to check that locally, we can use curl. So httpd 192.168.1.69, and I have put specified 2222. So hit enter. Yeah, so we are getting the content. Okay, now let's check if we can browse from the outside world. So for that, okay, so we are getting this response. Okay, so before that let's check. You may have issue like it is accessible from the local machine but not accessible from the outside world. For that, what you can check is the firewall is uh, has allowed port or not. So so if sometimes if it is not accessible from outside, you can just allow the port here on the firewall. Okay, now we have one more challenge is So suppose if I change the content of the index.html, then I have to build the image again. So that will be the issue, and that each time if the content of the index.html is changed, we have to build the image and then create the container. So to make the persistent content, what we can do is, there is another way. So for that, the command is similar like docker run dash d dash dash name. So I can name is this as a persistent. I will run this on, put this one custom image. So everything is older, uh, but we have to specify one more parameter, that is b, and the current location of the content html. So that is root docker and then html. Okay, so let's check this command again. So docker run dash d for daemon dash dash name for custom. I am going to create new persistent container. So this new name dash b, and the location of the actual index file. So that is root docker html, and sorry, and it should be var. So I need to copy it to var www html and colon, and this z parameter you have to add, and remaining things would be same. But previous container is running on 2222 port, so I'm going to change this to 2223 port. And the base image is same. So okay, so just hit enter, docker ps. So okay, so now we have persistent container, and let's check on the port, this port, if we are able to access this web server or not. So okay, so this is web server is built from the custom image, that is fine. uh, cd html. Okay, so how I have so if you see here, we have index.html file here. So I have kept the path here, root docker html here. So root docker html, and where I have to copy that location and the z to make it persistent. Now suppose I change the parameter of any entry in this index.html file. So vim index.html file, and I will change anything. So b2, sorry, so b2, and so I have done this one. Let's verify from the web that it is automatically reflected or not. So for that, hit enter. So if you see here, I have not built the custom image here, but we are able to uh, uh, change the content, so we don't need to build, and we have make the index.html persistent. So this is all about with today video. In the next video I will explain some more topics on the docker. So thanks for watching. Bye bye.